All right, welcome everybody. In this video, I want to get some more practice working with the switch function in R. We previously used this switch function as a way of classifying, given an animal name, what would be the sound that that animal makes. In this case, I want to take a look at the previous example where we were classifying days of the week to a mood based on lyrics from the Cure song Friday, I'm in Love. I want to discuss how we can do a very similar task, which is given a day of the week, identify what the mood is, but instead of using an if else statement, we're going to use a switch function. So I'm going to call this function that we create my mood, and I'm going to paste some code in this code cell, and then we'll talk about what it's doing. So we want to create a function that's name is my underscore mood. So that's what we enter first. And what we're going to assign to my mood is this function. So this function has one input, which is a day of the week, which is a character string. And then we had a space, open, curly brace, and then we indent everything inside of the function. And then when we're done, we close the curly brace. So inside, how I'm going to define this my mood function is with a switch function. So we begin it with switch. We first enter the value that we're going to check. And then we enter a list of conditions about what is going to happen if day has certain values. So if day is equal to Monday, I spelled that wrong over here. If day is equal to Monday, then remember the mood is you can fall apart. If the day is equal to Tuesday, then it's going to be break my heart. If the day is equal to Wednesday, then it's going to print break my heart as well. If the day is Thursday, it's going to print doesn't even start and so on. So based on the day that is input, what we're going to see on screen is going to be a different text character string that's going to indicate the mood of that day as decided by the Cure. So let's check this out. Let's run this function my mood, and we're going to run my mood Monday. We get an error, right? Why do we get an error here? We didn't enter that inside of parentheses or inside of quotes, right? So this is a character string. So we need to define it as such. And so if I run my mood Monday, I'm correctly getting you can fall apart. If I check to see what happens on Tuesday, it's saying break my heart. And we can go on and on. We can check to make sure that it's Friday. I actually am making this video on a Friday. And here it's saying I'm in love. If you misspell a word or you spell it with lowercase, this is caps sensitive, case sensitive. So the lowercase Friday does not equal uppercase Friday, and we get enter a valid day of the week. So this is somewhat limited, as you can see. And if I had a list of like 25 days, for example, I wouldn't want to list out a whole list of 25 things. But the switch function is useful in certain situations. And here is an example where it might be more efficient to write a switch function to do this as opposed to an if else statement.